How's it going, guys? My name is Jerry with Acidic Auto Detailing, and today we're going to talk about how I got this last minute call. Client, she has a rental, somebody scratched her vehicle, she wanted a quote. I'm going to let you guys know how it went.
Now, Jerry, how do you think she found you, man? Just a random phone call?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, she said Google. She said she was looking around, and I was the first one that I guess popped up.
Okay. And when she called you, did she know what she was asking for? Like scratch removal, paint correction, or was she just telling you her situation?
Yeah.
And you were educating her?
Pretty much, yeah. So she was saying that she needed like a scratch buffed out. Over the years, I kind of learned that like obviously if it's past the paint, you can't buff that out. You know, depending on how bad it is, you could either like fill it in with, you know, touch-up paint, then sand it, polish it out, something like that. In this case, it really wasn't that situation. So when I pulled up, client mentioned like, oh, you know, this is what it is. Take a look at it, and automatically, bro, I was able to tell. And I felt it too, and I told her, this is past paint, this is past the paint, this is past the paint. And I mentioned to her, you know, we could try to fill it in. I could try to, you know, sand it, polish it, this and that. But it was just a little deep.
All right, Jerry, where are we heading to, man?
All right, so we're heading to a client right now. She called me this morning. I was a little preoccupied. I had to take care of other clients today. But she mentioned that she has a vehicle. It's a rental. And I guess she... I think when she was driving, when she was parked, she said she mentioned that somebody had gotten really close to her vehicle, but she didn't really feel it until I guess she parked or whatever, and she took a look at it and she found out that it was scratched. So she was saying that, you know, she was saying like, oh, you know, I need like some scratches removed, this and that. And I asked her like, oh, is it past the paint? And she kind of didn't really have an answer for me, but I mentioned to her like, well, if you don't mind, I could head over to you later today and I'll see what I could do for you. So I told her like, we'll go over your options, this and that. And she's like, okay, thank you.
Now, wouldn't it save you a trip if you just asked for pictures?
You know what? Yeah, that could save a trip. But in my experience, it's like doing a quote over the phone, you know? I can't really tell how bad it is until I personally see it in person. So that's why I like to take a look at it in person. I also don't charge for like estimates like this. And honestly, that's how I get a whole lot of my jobs, because they tell me, oh, you're the first person that was willing to take a look at it without charging me. Or since I'm right there, they're just like, all right, let's do it. Yes, sir.
And she's not that far, right?
No. She's still in West Covina. She's about like 10 minutes, you know, with some traffic. So it's not too bad.
Now, would you consider this an emergency situation or just like a same-day service type of thing?
This was more like a same-day service.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see what we could do for her.
When we're in a gated community, Jerry?
Yep.
She give you a code?
No, but I'm about to call her right now. Let's see. Hello, this is Jerry from Acidic Auto Detailing. I'm at your front gate.
Good luck, Jerry.
All right, thank you. Hello, how are you? Doing well, thank you. This one's past the paint, so I'm not gonna be able to buff this one out. All right, pleasure meeting you. No problem. Take care. This was one that wasn't successful. All right, so what happened was I took a look at it and off top, bro, past the paint.
For sure.
Yeah, it was for sure past the paint. I had mentioned to her like, hey, I could fill it in. And then she was like, oh, you have paint on you? And I'm like, well, I don't have it on me. I said, but I'll have to purchase some really quick. I told her, I said, I could go about this two ways. I said, I could just fill it in and that's it. Or I could actually fill it in, you know, give it some sanding, kind of blend it in, this and that. And
now, real quick, Jerry, sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
Have you ever done that before? Is this something you're trying to learn on the job?
No, so it's something I've done before. I've done it a few times. It's nothing like I specialize in. But the last couple times that I've done it, like, it really doesn't look bad at all, you know? But I always tell my clients, like, hey, this isn't my specialty, but I'll get the job done, you know?
So what, you would just get paint and dip it in the scratch, and hopefully that's it.
So yeah, you pretty much you fill it in, you let it dry. You could like sand it, and then if you're most likely gonna see a little bit of spots to where like it needs more filling in. Then all you do is you fill it in a little more, and then you go ahead, sand it, you know, with like 2K grit sandpaper, 3K, and then you just go ahead and polish it out. Hey, but let me know, guys, have you guys ever done something like this? Let me know down in the comments below.
All right, man. So I know you, Jerry, you probably explained the process. What questions did she have?
So yeah, she did ask like, okay, you know, like, is this something that you can do? Would you be willing to do it? And honestly, man, the scratches, they're kind of deep. They're kind of deep for sure. So I told her, I said, look, I don't mind doing the job for you. I would just hate, you know, for me to charge you what I'm going to charge you for me doing, you know, the labor, doing the job, and they still ding you for that scratch, you know?
Oh.
And it's because she was mentioning like, oh, you know what, I might just go ahead and just own it. Because you could tell she was like an honest person as well, you know? She was mentioning like, I would hate for somebody to try to like, you know, cover it up if it were my vehicle. So that's why I was telling her, I said, look, I said, I understand where you're coming from. You know, I'm an honest person. I try to be as honest as possible, as transparent as possible. So that's why I was telling her, I said, this is why I'm telling you, I can do it for you, but I would hate for you to spend the money on me and you still get hit with that. And you could tell she was like very appreciative of that, you know? So she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and own it. So, which, you know, it was cool. This wasn't a successful one today. You know, I didn't get the job, I didn't get any money out of it. But personally, it's actually a rare occasion that I don't get those jobs. Because me going out there, showing them like, okay, this is what I could do, or, you know, doing a little demonstration, always gets me a job. I actually just got an RV job about 3 days ago. A client called me. He was like, hey, Jerry, you know, like, I have your business card somehow. I don't know how I got it, but I have it. And I have an RV that I want to get worked on. Can you come by? You know, this is what I want done. And I was telling him, I was like, hey, you have several options that we could do. You know, don't feel obligated to go with the most expensive one. But if you don't mind, I'll go. I'll check it out for you. You know, I'll put up some tape. We'll do like a 50-50. And we'll see what we could do. And he ended up getting like a buff, a wash and a buff. You know, his main focus was to remove oxidation.
Now, the audience, other detailers are gonna wonder, how much would you have charged for this?
So for something like this, it would have been like $150. Yeah, I would.
$150?
Yeah, I would have charged minimum $150. Yeah.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I know for a fact you guys probably would have been like, oh, I could have charged more or this and that. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's I already made a good amount of money today, and I know this client, this lady, she kind of seemed like she was a little like in distress. You know, I could have taken advantage of the situation, but I don't know, man. I feel like 150 really wouldn't be bad, you know? Yes, sir. And you guys can see, I'm taking you along for the journey. I'm showing you guys the good and the bad. Today we weren't successful, but it is what it is, guys. It's part of the game. I'm just doing this to help all the new detailers out there. There's a mobile detailer right there. Bam!
Dang. He was mad dogging you, Jerry.
He was. Hey, he saw me, I was like, this is bad.
He's a follower, bro.
Yep.
All right, Jerry. So, new detailers out there. They want to learn how to give accurate quotes. What's your best advice, man? Keep it honest. Make your money. Don't do too much that they don't want paying for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of all the above. Definitely make your money because we're a business. You know, we need to stay profitable. But I find myself, you know, sometimes I'm a little too honest because I don't want to take advantage of people. Because there's been multiple occasions to where I could have taken advantage of people that don't know. But let's be real, guys. One, that's just not cool. And two, I believe in, you know, karma. So I try to use the golden rule, treat others the way I want to be treated. So I don't do that at all. I try to be as honest and transparent as possible, and I try to, you know, tell them, all right, these are our options. This is what I suggest, but don't feel obligated to do the most expensive, you know, package option. And I feel like with me doing that, I'm kind of gaining their trust. You know, they kind of get a feel for me, who I am as a person and as a business. And then they're like, you know what? All right, let's do this. So that's kind of my approach with new clients.
All right, Jerry, you're an honest guy, man. You're not out there nickel and diming clients, but there are some detailers that want that business. They need the money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell her what I need to tell her to get the job. Are they hustling or are they scamming, bro? How do you feel about it?
I just feel like it's kind of, it's just based off of your point of view. You know, some people could look at it as like, oh, he's getting this bag, you know, he's going about it, he's making it happen. It really just depends on the situation, you know. Some guys, they're scammers, man. I've had a couple of clients to where they tell me like they got this big old package with a detailer, and like I had to go in and kind of clean it up. And you know, I don't ask names or anything because that's not my thing. I just go in there and I just take care of it, and they leave me a review and they're happy with the work. Hey, but let me know, guys, are you guys about the bag? Will you guys do anything to get that money? Or will you guys let the job go if you feel like it's not the job for you, or you can't provide those results that they need? Drop it down in the comments below. And like I mentioned before, the whole purpose of this page is to help new detailers. You know, so if you guys want more knowledge, you guys want me to touch a certain subject, drop it down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay blessed.